When I saw that message, I said, I know he's not trying to go off on me like he's not late for the show.
I'm not.
Bro Talk Live, right on the mark.
I'm sorry, we started.
We don't have to start. We could do pre-show. You know, the guys.
No, the only time I was late is when my computer was acting utterly ridiculous.
And okay, is that opposed to now or what's going on?
Yeah, I think.
Why you at it? Take your thumb and just wipe that camera. It's like a little haze over it.
Is this camera dirty?
You look like you're in heaven.
I am in heaven, fool. I'm on vacation.
There's always going to pretend to be in heaven.
Oh, that's much better. Yeah, you look much better. There you go. All right. Welcome to another edition of Bro Talk Live, the best show on the internet for us, by us, because we're right on the mark. Let's kick it over to my main man, Dex. What up, bro?
Dexter One here. Super excited to be here, reporting live for duty. So much to talk about today, including our Black Panther movie giveaway contest.
Are we releasing the details to that now, or are we going to how's this going to work?
What do you think we should do? You're the manager here.
We definitely didn't have like a pre-show meeting about this. I feel like we should have had a meeting where we just give away these things.
So this is what we'll do. This is what we'll do. If you guys are tuning in right now, like let us know, like tweet Bro Talk Live, you know, stuff like that.
Hashtag BTL.
Yeah, and then the official rules for the contest will go up on the Bro Talk Live Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages tomorrow at 12.
Oh, you gagged them. We might still give away the tickets tonight. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
If you tweet us like enough that like if you tweet us like so much tonight or whatever that like we feel like compelled to give you guys the tickets and get your friends to tune in, then like of course you get them, and then we'll give out another pair tomorrow.
Right, we'll give out another pair tomorrow.
Oh, look at us.
Come on.
I see that.
Somebody's rubbing elbows with celebrities, has certain pickups.
Remember who said it too. Like, I don't want to be the one being charged when it comes to having charged for these tickets.
We have one of our friends who's quote unquote working, and this seems great.
Seems like it's really paying off for him, ain't it? All right, Tyler, guy, what up?
I'm doing quite well. For some reason, I feel so good today. I can't tell you why.
Oh, because you didn't go to work. That's why.
I just feel amazing. And I'm so excited to be here amongst all you gentlemen. And I'm very excited about the show that we have.
I don't feel like I've ever seen you with this much energy.
Seriously, you need to be off every Tuesday.
Just take off. Like, just work on Saturday or Sunday. You just take off Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay. Bill?
I'm back again from another trip, and I feel so refreshed. Like, I don't know what to do with myself. I've been like taking Facebook quizzes and like lounging around and not getting dressed. It's amazing.
Ty, do you know where we went this week?
Take like a vacation.
Did he say like he went to a different country or something like that?
You said Liberia.
Did he take like a random like trip
or like Colombia or something? I didn't really think he was anywhere. I thought he was like one of those things that he does.
That's what I thought. And I asked him.
Oh, you were actually somewhere?
No, it was he geotagged it.
I was actually somewhere, yes.
No. I'm not playing you. I just assumed. I didn't ask.
Yeah, no, I was actually I actually went to Colombia. Me and Juan, we to Medellin. Juan, you know Juan.
I do.
My nephew, and we went to Medellin, Colombia, and got back like 3:30 this morning.
It was Medallion. I thought that's what you put it. Medallion, Colombia.
No, it's not Medallion. Don't be an American.
William thinks he can pronounce everything, doesn't he?
What's it called? Medellin.
William thinks he can pronounce everything. He doesn't care. Well, like he's like, no, it's no. Like, who gives a crap? Medallion.
he was down Medallion.
It's Medallion. Oh no, it's
Middle East.
Panama 2 weeks ago.
Who gives a rat's ass? It's Medallion.
Panama a week ago, Middle East this week.
So if we want to talk about who has the money here, clearly
it's Dexter. I mean, he's the one giving away everything.
He's giving away tickets to a movie that hasn't even come out yet, a release date that hasn't even been announced. He's got the tickets.
February.
Tonight we're talking about the BT Awards, which included Migos and Chris Brown, Kodak Black, who was one of the XXL freshmen from last year that we guest on, and I'm sure you guys got wrong. He's going to be on the show as well, and of course, we'll give you more details on those Black Panther tickets once we have an impromptu meeting about what the hell we're going to do. All right, but first we're going to talk about the BET Awards, or as Bill calls them. He changes around the letters. What's it called, Bill?
EBT Awards. Come on, you know it.
Cash credit or EBT?
Come on, no cash, no credit, just EBT.
Question number one: are fights good for hip hop? The reason I asked, there were a lot of fights, it seems like, going on in the Los Angeles area this weekend. The first of which revolved around Safarius and Meek Mills. Here's a picture or a video of Safari, and you'll see Meek Mill getting out the car here. And as soon as Meek Mill gets out the car, two guys from behind Safarius decide to jump him, it looks like. They chase him down the street and around some cars, and they just bang on him a couple of times. Safarius gets away and runs down the street out of danger. But he was kind of upset after.
You want to call it running out of the way of dangers? That would.
Yeah, he retreated, and they beat up his friend. Looks like there. Thought that was kind of rude. But on the subject of the banking, he went on his IG live shortly thereafter, after he was in the safety of another car with the doors locked. He said, "Listen, straight up, I hopped out the whip, saw Meek. He hopped out, and I just got snuck. They jumped me, a whole bunch of them. Meek, you're the biggest P on the planet. You saw me, and you ain't do nothing. You had your boys jump me one-on-one. You can't F with me, so that's why you had to do that. Y'all jumped me. Y'all caught me from the back, caught me from the side, all that. All white. I'm still clean, and I still got all my stuff on. You a B, period. Meet me anywhere, one-on-one. While you out here this weekend being scared, and let me know what's up. UABAN." Ooh, tough words. They asked Meek Mill about his role in the whole situation. He said, "Ain't no beef. I'm a boss. I'm a Don. I don't even fight. I don't even know how they got us confused with that type of stuff, man." So he's denying any involvement whatsoever in this altercation. That was fight number one. Altercation or fight number two happened when a show called Everyday Struggle, which is like the hip hop version of First Take, was on the red carpet of the BET Awards, and they were having an interview with the Migos, Rap's new royalty. And, you know, they were going back and forth. They were kind of being tense towards each other the whole time. And Joe Budden was trying to rush along the conversation. And he was trying to say, wrap it up, wrap it up. And Academic said, well, yeah, you know, I just want to say I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, whatever. And then Budden got upset and stormed off. And you're going to see it here in a second. You'll see it right there. He gets up, drops the mic, walks right away from the interview. The Migos set did not like that. They stood up, and one decided to start rolling up his sleeves. I believe that's Offset there. And they was about to get into it. They asked Joe Budden why he did that. And he had this excuse for his actions. They said, "I was justified. I'd had enough." When another person said, "No one likes you," Joe Budden tweeted back, "What's there to be? Oh, sorry, who's here to be liked? They was just a little too sassy for me. That's all."
Sassy.
Sass. Also, after that, the Migos weren't done with their confrontations. TMZ say they ran to Chris Brown near the Microsoft Theater in LA after he just finished premiering his new music video, and he was leaving just as the Migos arrived. Witnesses tell TMZ that someone on Team Chris allegedly pushed Quavo, and then Migos jumped in to defend him. If you don't know, Karrueche and Quavo are dating now, so Chris Brown has a problem there with Quavo.
Which one is Quavo?
Quavo is the one on the left. He's the head honcho. He's the one that's the Beyonce, I guess, of the group, you can say. Yeah, he's the one that's on all the songs and stuff like that. The features that they get, he's the one who sings.
That's the voice that you always hear.
Yeah, he's the hook guy.
Those guys are voices that you don't hear.
I mean, you hear them. They're just traditional rappers. All right, so our fight's good for hip hop because I mean those are the fights that happened this week. Also, Remy Ma won a BET award for best female hip hop artist over Nicki Minaj, and that was the first time Nicki hadn't won in a long time. So she threw some shade there. Are some of these fights good for hip hop or no?
I mean, as long as we don't take it too far, I guess. I mean,
I feel like fights are good for hip hop as long as the people who are fighting can fight. Like,
so you don't feel like the Meek Mill thing was really?
If you don't have a seat, first of all, this boy's wearing all white and he still got away, and all his white is still white. That ain't no wrestling. Playing wrestling in the street, like you could go away. Like don't. To be
fair though, he got away. He got away in his all white because he ran. Like it's not because somebody hit you. You ran away.
Yeah, like you can't say I have all my stuff and I still got all white, and y'all try to jump me. Like they were like trying to grab you and you ran away.
You ran.
Therefore,
You ran away.
have all
Like
your
you
things
didn't release a
because they
statement
didn't
at
take
all.
you.
I mean, but he
Like,
also
you
didn't
didn't-
get dirty. There should be something to say about
You
not
can't.
getting yourself
Sometimes
dirty.
Jason,
running,
let me
you
tell you
also
this
don't
right
get
now.
when you're running.
If ever me and you are out somewhere and someone is trying to attack you, they're trying to beat you up, and I jump in it and you run away and I'm your friend and I'm getting beat up for you, you don't release a statement at all. There's nothing to be said about that. He's a
So
coward.
I can't tell everybody what happened.
The fact
No.
that you don't comment on it at all. The fact that like this man, you were targeted. You were supposed to get beat up here, not me. But I'm your friend, so I jump in to defend you. Now I'm getting beat up and you're running away and bragging that your clothes are still white. We have a problem here.
Was the other go? Here's the question: was the other guy's clothes still white too?
No,
Like-
because he was getting beat up.
No, his clothes were not still white because we got beat up.
Wait. Here's the thing. Because we never even hear from that boy the rest of the night. So nobody even knows what happened to him. So you let your friend who
The Migos probably got him.
you left him. No way. Ain't no way.
How you feel about
He
the
wasn't in
Migos?
the car. He wasn't in the car with him when he did the clip. Therefore, we don't know what happened to him or where he was.
No.
He was probably injured. He's probably in the hospital.
How do you feel about
Probably
the
dead.
Migos? Do you feel like they've earned some respect? I guess after not backing down to Joe Budden or Chris Brown.
First of all, Joe Budden has been swinging at people since 2003. Ain't connected with nothing yet. I mean, that goes
I
with
felt
his
bad
music.
even asking that
He's
Joe Budden
swinging.
thing.
And ain't hit nothing. Like with his punch, like come on, you 3 young ladies in blouses, like good day.
Don't do the Migos. We enjoy the Migos. Come on.
Wait a second. Let me disagree with Will 120%.
Me too.
The Migos guys, I'm not gonna ever learn y'all names, but y'all have all the respect in the world.
Thank you.
If they are willing, not because of Joe Budden, because I'll stand up to him, but if they are willing to stand up to Chris Brown, who throws rocks through his mom's car window and drugs out the window, like y'all are certified, like amazing. This
No,
man,
also-
Chris Brown has more restraining orders out on him than there are members of the Migos.
And
so
that's-
I just don't think that somebody I would be like.
That's why they'll jump up at him, because they know as soon as he looks like he's going to fight, he's going back to prison. The only people the Migos made proud last night or the night before last was Prince. That's the only person. Okay, nobody else.
They caught up with the TMZ people, of course. You know, they're everywhere. You ain't never there. They caught up with Offset, the one pictured here in the middle. If you can see it, or yeah.
Let's just move.
They caught up with Offset, and he said that Chris Brown doesn't want any problems. He said they don't. Basically, he said you don't want to start it with us. They also asked him.
Just stop.
They also asked him.
Who got flowers on their shirts, on their blouses? Okay, I don't think
the one in the middle is the one that they spoke to on TMZ.
And one of them carries a Chanel purse, I think. Like I don't.
The one on the left, that's actually a really nice shirt. I wouldn't wear it personally, but I do like it.
Could you get it in romper for him? You think?
Absolutely, you can absolutely get that in Rob and
That's
leather.
nice shirt. Like, you gotta admit that's a nice shirt.
Which one? The Quavo's one?
The one on the far left. That's a nice shirt.
Yeah.
I don't like the one in the middle. And the other guy, that's all nipples. I don't know what shirt that is.
Yeah, the shirt on the far left it's nice for a dress. It is nice for a dress, but it's
For
very
a dress?
it's very tacky as a shirt. But it's a good pattern. That looks how large that is. Tacky.
You know what? I see these shirts and I feel like they're wearing like Hillary Clinton pantsuits. Like
Absolutely.
Oh,
like,
come on.
Look, y'all not gonna get me about the Migos. I don't want no problems. All right.
I kind of like it. I mean, it's not me because
I agree,
I
Seth.
don't wear these types
I
of
have
things.
with it. Should Chris Brown have been booked for the BET Awards? If you don't know, Chris Brown currently has a restraining order out on him from Karrueche. And they said Karrueche was told in advance that Chris Brown will be performing at the BET Awards, and she opted to go ahead with her appearance anyway, which had been arranged 2 months prior. Karrueche was apparently moved into a holding room during Chris Brown's performance.
You didn't get to watch the performance. You mad?
They said she didn't want to watch it on the screen that they had back there, so she kept the television off and simply waited it out. They also said Chris Brown never sat in the audience, which I noticed during the award show, and he was kept backstage throughout the show to ensure that their paths never crossed and to maintain the legal distance because he's not trying to go back to jail. Last week, a judge ordered that the restraining order stay in place for the next 5 years. So, guys, should Chris Brown have even been booked for the BET Awards, knowing that he has this restraining order with someone who's also going to be at the awards? Dex?
Absolutely. He's the only reason why she's famous is because of him.
Well, first of all, she's not famous. That's the problem. She's not famous.
The only reason why we know who she is because of him. So why would we not book him because she's coming? What the hell is she doing?
She's an Emmy Award-winning actress.
Ty, that's what. Who cares?
How exciting!
But
bye.
What Ty said is exactly what I was thinking. Like, should Chris Brown not have been booked? As soon as Chris Brown agreed to perform on that stage, they should have unbooked her because she was available. Like,
no, they tried to get rid of her politely. She's like, "Oh, I'm coming anyway." They're like, "Shit."
Then they had to like do damage control.
It was like, "Girl, you know Chris gonna be here." She was like, "I don't give a damn."
It was like, "Oh, great, Chris is gonna be here. We're assuming you're not coming." She was like, "Oh, absolutely,
I'm coming." Like, then they were like, "Well, what about your restraining order?" She said, "Well, what about it? What y'all gonna do about it?"
No.
Will, do you think Chris Brown should have been booked knowing that they had this thing going on?
Absolutely. Like Dex said, the minute they booked him, they should have kindly removed her. And I appreciate, but I mean, I understand that they kept them apart.
Wait a minute, Emmy Award-winning actress for what?
Government funded.
It was this show that was on like Netflix. So
get the hell out of here.
As a government funded, program, the EBT Awards has to maintain federal regulations in order to keep their funding. So of course,
I can't take you. But yeah, she does have an Emmy for The Bay. That was the show.
Yeah, but
for like a participation
Emmy. Anybody can go on Amazon and order an Emmy. Like, good day.
I gotta look this up.
If she didn't do an acceptance speech, it doesn't count.
She currently has a show called Claws on TNT.
Check that. Does she really?
Yeah, it's on TNT. It has Niecy Nash in the shows.
What channel does that come on? Anyone know?
TNT.
I don't know what channel TNT is for you guys, but that show is actually a lot. I've heard like really good things about it. I'm not saying it's because of her
acting. They say she's really good at it.
I've heard really good things about it.
And she's dating Quavo. I mean, she's winning.
I don't necessarily
know.
She's
not winning enough to cancel out Chris Brown. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But why are we still? But that goes back to the point that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Why are we still rewarding Chris Brown with appearances and shows and stuff like that? Why are we?
So wait,
because she's crazy. What are you talking about?
No,
she's a rock star. What are you talking about? That's what rock stars do.
Yeah. This is not the MTV Awards. This is the BT Awards. Yeah, we don't employ rock stars over there.
Yeah, we don't reward rock stars at the BET Awards.
That's what they do. Rock star.
But then again, though, we do like we gave Suge Knight Source Awards after he killed Tupac.
That's the Source Award, though.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah, but when I say we, I mean collectively, like black people. We were on board with giving Suge Knight these Source Awards and letting him do his stuff. Like,
I mean, but Suge Knight run over somebody with a car, and was he still invited to everything?
We know for ourselves that the Source Awards was the breeding ground for coonery. So, like, that was the standard for coonery. So, absolutely, Suge Knight got an award.
King Coon himself.
All right, and last but not least, on the BET Awards front, do you agree with Dex? The question I'm asking is this tweet he posted, which was had me thinking. It's a good point.
Wait.
Wait, Dex is second?
Did BET forget about Colin Kaepernick the way the NFL did? And he tweeted this around the time when Chance the Rapper was receiving his well-deserved award for Humanitarian of the Year, or whatever that award is called. And Dex tweeted this, and it had me thinking, yeah, BT had a chance there where they, no pun intended, they had a chance where they could have honored Colin Kaepernick, or just recognized what he's doing. And they chose not to. They had no mention of him or anything like that at a time when I thought it was important to do something like that. So did BET forget about Colin Kaepernick the way that the NFL did? And do you agree with Dex?
I do agree with Dex. BET dropped the ball, as they usually do with most important things. Now, I agree that Chance the Rapper definitely deserved to get a humanitarian, Bobby Jones, whatever they had going on award. But Colin Kaepernick definitely deserved a humanitarian acknowledgement or award of some sort, because this man has literally been blackballed by his job for doing what Chance, I mean, for putting on for the culture. So the man definitely deserves a humanitarian award.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's like they're gonna reward Chance the Rapper because everybody loves Chance the Rapper, right? But there are people who are protesting Colin Kaepernick. There are people who are like dead set against them, burning his jerseys and all that stuff. And BET just showed that they aren't really down for the cause. They're only down for, I don't know what they're down for, but it ain't the cause. And so they're not going to associate themselves with him just like they were any other corporation because they're not really down for the cause. So they might as well change their name officially to EBT Awards and have a good one.
Dex, how much do you weigh the whole Viacom part in this? I mean, Viacom is the parent company of BET. I'm sure they make a lot of big decisions when it comes to the network. Do you think Viacom or somebody bigger than BET had something to say or stop Colin Kaepernick from coming to the awards?
They didn't have to.
That's exactly what I think. I think it was one of those situations where, like you just said, or Ty just said, like everyone loves Chance the Rapper. This, then one of you guys said, I'm sorry. Like everyone loves Chance the Rapper, and he's a safe option. Like they went with him because he's safe. Colin Kaepernick is really not safe. But I look at it like on a set of like morals, right? If we're like, you know what, like Colin is really doing so much stuff for the culture and the community, and like, you know, progression or whatever, putting his life on the line, his life's work on the line for his, you know, just to make sure other people run, because he doesn't have to do this. He would be fine if he never did this stuff. Like he is, you know what I mean? Like
he would still be in the NFL. Colin Kaepernick would still be in the NFL right now if he did not.
If he didn't do this. So like I look at places like BET and like say Viacom had nothing to do with it, or any other organization had nothing to do with it, but like BET on their own just decided, like, you know what, like let's not go with him. Like that's really a slap in the face to him and other people who are out there like actually doing work and like putting effort and energy out there to like fight for the cause. And it's insulting, to be honest with you, and not to take anything away from Chance, but I feel slighted for Kaepernick, even though I do feel like personally if he would have voted, he probably wouldn't have had these issues. But that's just, you know, besides the point.
I don't understand the problem with the whole voting thing. I understand why he didn't vote, but I don't think why do you have to hate somebody because they don't, whatever.
Wait.
Any more comments on this?
In his thing, the only reason I have an issue with him not voting, well, I have an issue with anybody not voting, but my major issue with him not voting is because like you were preaching about making change and all these other things like this, and then you had Mr. now President Donald Trump saying everything against what you were saying. And I'm not saying you should have voted for Hillary because you didn't like Trump, but if you are fundamentally against everything that this man is saying, and this other person is not necessarily saying what you want, but they're actually more in tune and against what he's saying, and you don't vote at all, like that just seems like, to me, that was like a slap in the face. I think maybe that's why BET.
He knew it wouldn't matter because he knew Russia had that thing hacked anyway.
And we're learning more and more about this Russia thing, that like a lot of this stuff that we're
hearing, ain't nothing else to learn. Vladimir Putin got his fingerprints all over it. He slipped Trump on in there. Bernie got duped by Hill. There ain't nothing else to learn. That's it. They trying to drag this
question really quickly.
He was screaming and crying, lock her up. I ain't heard nobody chant lock her up in 6 months.
You know, I have a question because I think I'm fairly intelligent, right? Like, you know, so, and I have really good opinions, probably the best opinions on the show. Why is it when, this is two things I'm just noticing. One, when one of you agree with me, you have to make it like an announcement, disclaimer, I'm finally agreeing with Dexter. And then somebody just tweeted, I think I agree with Dexter. It's like, what do you mean you think? Like, I'm not that hard to agree with.
Because you are associated. Now, I'll tell you, you're associated. Go ahead, Will.
Miss Sissy and at me, first of all, because I'm the one who said something.
But I'm just, no, people are saying this. Oh, I think I agree with you and stuff like that. And it's like people are so shocked that they agree with something that
because you're normally so far off base that people can't imagine.
What are you talking about?
Because one, you're off base usually, like Jason said, and you have an association with utter foolery. Therefore, when people, that's like, do you remember when Donald Trump got up there and he made that speech after something happened, and everyone was like, "Oh, he sounds presidential. He sounds presidential." Like that's you.
Dex literally came up here remember Dex literally came up here after the second debate on the show, and he said, "Oh, why don't we focus more on what Hillary's doing behind the scenes?" Like he was literally stumping for Trump at one point. He was like, "Oh yeah, I don't think we should just take what Hillary said at face value. You know, she got some dirt to uncover." Like he was digging up dirt on Hillary.
What do you mean?
And he's like a couple
So they're not supposed to
Collusion. You was probably getting touched by Putin and everything too.
Oh my God.
Probably.
And don't forget you're the one with the bandanas and cake in the face and Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer and unicorns. I mean, come on, sir.
Come on, sir. You know we can't take you serious.
Don't get
Is there
new
a
one.
problem with Kodak Black's statement? Moving on, he had a lot to say this week about things that apparently he doesn't know how to talk about. He was doing an Instagram. He was doing an Instagram live stream, and he was asked if he likes Keke Palmer, to which he answered, "Keke Palmer, she's straight. I'd bag her, but I really don't like black girls like that." So sort of, kinda. People caught offense to that, including Claudia Jordan. Wow, when ugly and a few dollars equals arrogant, ignorant, and picky, the nerve of his black ass. We feel the same way about you, buddy. And also various other tweets disparaging Kodak Black. Kodak saw these tweets and decided to clarify himself on his Instagram page, saying, "I love black African American women. Is just not my forte to deal with a quote unquote dark skinned woman. I prefer them to have a lighter complexion than me. My preference."
Oh, that clears it up.
F you. To that, of course, he got more Twitter acknowledgement. People still going in on him. To which he decided to lay the hammer down and go off by saying, "One thing about me, dog, you ain't just going to be dissing me. You ain't going to be dissing me under my comments or none of that S. Because B, I'm a clap back. Hoes, niggas, whatever. I'm going to knock your whole melon off. Don't even comment on my S with that FS. You talking about black women? B, F y'all, I only like red bones. I love black African Americans, but I don't like black bees. I like yellow hoes."
I mean, that is a way to make a statement. I do appreciate that, and this is why. Are we ready for feedback?
Go ahead.
Because whenever people say something stupid, right, and people start dragging them on Twitter or on the news, they come out with these ridiculous apology statements. And we know that they're stupid and we know it's ridiculous, but they come out with them anyway. And this was his statement. His statement was, "I don't like black bitches. So I don't care about what you guys say." And I do appreciate that. However, I don't support his music or anything like that. So there's really nothing that I could possibly boycott. I'm sure most of the women commenting don't support his music and don't know who he is. And so there's nothing they can boycott. And so really, I think that he probably will be unaffected by a lot of this stuff. I don't know who's sponsoring him or who can start pulling.
He recently
funding.
got out of jail. So he's
right. So I'm not sure. Meaning he doesn't have any, what does he have to lose, really?
I just want to show how far away he was from sponsorships. Just want to let you know.
Because this sounds like he doesn't, nobody's supporting him, and then he just got out of jail. Like, what? Like,
I didn't say I said, well, he just got out of jail.
Yeah, in regards to sponsoring. So I do respect. Now, I do respect the fact that you didn't release one of those really annoying apologies, and that you took an ignorant statement and you stuck with it, and you're seeming to ride it out into even further ignorance. He did delete
his Twitter and his Instagram after saying that he lost his temper and he just doesn't really know how to control himself. So he didn't apologize, but he just clarified.
Never mind.
That's because people don't know how to control themselves. If this man, I see nothing wrong with his statement. If that's your preference, if that's what you want to do, then you go do it. And God bless whoever wants to date him and those spaced out teeth that he has. Like, if that's what y'all want, that's what y'all want. If y'all want somebody that looks like a toad, then you go for it. You know what I mean? He looks like one of the dinosaurs from that cartoon. If that's what you want, then you go for it. If he doesn't want to date a black woman, that's fine. Like, he can say that he does not want to date a black woman. And y'all should not be offended by anybody, no matter what color they are, saying that they don't want to date you.
So ugly you get chills. Like, that's how ugly. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, please have your preference.
Would y'all have thought he was ugly God if we would have did the questions this year?
Absolutely.
Definitely ugly God.
Especially if he opened that mouth.
It's interesting because all of the, as he would say, American women on my timeline were thanking the Most High God that he didn't like their kind. So
who would ever want to be in the club with him creeping up behind them? No, sir, we're good.
Bill, you don't like them spaces in them teeth?
I can't stand the spaces in his eyes, the spaces in them eyebrows, the spaces in them teeth. I can look at him. He looks like the princess and the frog, but like just the frog.
Well, he's smiling for this picture because this was the first picture. I'm not lying to you. This is the first picture that he took off his fronts with after I think 4 or 5 years or something like that. He had gold fronts on, so he just took them off.
If you go to the dentist, right? If you go to the dentist, you make the effort to fix your teeth, and that was corny. If you go to the dentist, you make the effort to fix your teeth or whatever, right? You take the caps off your teeth. Why would you not just get veneers or something that looks good? Like, he literally went into the dentist, took the gold off of his teeth, and still kept every space that was in there. What was the purpose?
Y'all ever see them little bad kids? They got them caps. When they take them caps off, them teeth whittle on down.
I don't want to. There are people who have gaps and are proud of them, and so I don't want those people to feel bad if they watch our show. I just think
no, it's not a gap.
Kodak,
it's not that he has gaps. He doesn't have gaps. He has spaces. I mean, like, there's this teeth, and then the next one comes all the way down here. Like, it's like there's nothing there but space.
He has a middle tooth, actually. That's not even, like, that space isn't in the middle of his head. It's like,
and plus, I don't think everybody has to, like, get braces or whatever. I mean, like, everybody doesn't have $8,000, like, just laying around to get their teeth fixed. Like, I understand that. But if they look like that and you do have the money to get it fixed.
And then you're talking about other people.
Like, you should never talk about anybody's looks if you look like that.
Like, you just shun the whole race.
I mean, the big point here is that he's ugly and nobody wants him anyway. And so it's great that he has a preference of people, but no one cares because nobody wants him.
I want no white girls come out and be like, we don't like uglies.
Like, you can't be ugly and choosy. Like, you don't get to have both.
What is this teacher story we have going on here?
All right, last but not least, let's speed this thing on up. Should this teacher have been fired? If you haven't heard, I think we talked, or Dex sent this to the chat, and I kind of stiff-armed him and told him, chill out, because I'm doing this for the show. This teacher went on, this teacher from, what is it, Essex University or something like that, a professor from Essex University, went on a Tucker Carlson show. Tucker Carlson is a Fox News host. Oh, did I lose the camera there? Tucker Carlson is a Fox News host, and he recently had a show, and he let this lady on there because he was upset that he heard about a party in New York, a Memorial Day party that the Black Lives Matter organization apparently was affiliated with, and this party happened to not allow other races besides Black people in there. They said they wanted something that would be, you know, for Black people. In a space that would recognize Black people, and they didn't want to have anything to mess that up. So she went on the show, and I'll just read this for you since the little camera's not working right now. And he asked her basically, you know, what do you have to say about that? To that, she said, you white people are angry because you couldn't use your white privilege card to get invited to the Black Lives Matter All Black Memorial Day celebration. Wow. Memorial Day, and she tried to explain what Memorial Day was. Memorial Day was created by Black former slaves in 1865 to honor those individuals who were Union soldiers who fought and died for our freedoms. So Black Lives Matter, in that same vein, could be decided to get together with Black folks to honor Black folks, to make sure that Black folks were celebrated for being murdered by racist terrorists. She also said that white people are allowed at other Black Lives Matter events, but just not this one. And she said, this particular day, we said, stay your asses out. We want to celebrate today. We don't want anybody going against us today. To that, Tucker Carlson said, and you can't celebrate if someone who doesn't look like you is around. You're demented, actually. You're sick. And what you're saying is disgusting. And if you were a Nazi, I will be saying the same thing to you. She fired back by saying, well, actually, sis, I'm not a Nazi, and I'm glad I'm not. So you better watch what you say to me, basically. And to that, oh, sorry, guys, there we go. And to that, she said, you can't celebrate someone. Oh, she said, you're demented, you're sick, and what you're saying is disgusting. If you were a Nazi, I would be saying the same thing to you. She said, I'm not a Nazi. He said, what you're saying is indistinguishable from what they are saying, which is, I don't care your opinions, your views, your life experiences, your intentions. All I care about is the way you look, something you can't control. And on that basis alone, I'm judging you, and I'm hostile to you. That's the case you're making, and it's divisive and wrong. And it's amazing that you even have to say that out loud. Now, she was scheduled to teach courses on speech and popular culture down at Essex County College in the fall, but was informed shortly thereafter that interview with Tucker Carlson that she had been indefinitely suspended. She said, "They did this to humiliate me. Essex County College publicly lynched me in front of my students." The college had this to say about, having her dismissed. While the adjunct who expressed her personal views in a very public setting was in no way claiming to represent the views and beliefs of the college and does not represent the college, her employment with us and potential impact on students required our immediate review into what seemed to become a contentious and divisive issue. Basically, they said, so because of this, we decided we can no longer have an employment relationship with her. So she is free to go and pursue other career opportunities. Best of luck to you. Guys, should this college professor have been fired for her comments that she made on the Fox News show?
I think that they have every right to do so. If they feel like they don't want to be associated with her, and apparently they don't. Yeah, I mean, there's not really anything that anyone can do about that. So it's like, if they aren't feeling you, then they have the right to dismiss you. But I feel like she will have other opportunities. So I don't think it's a big, I think she'll have other opportunities. The Black community will step up for her.
No, they won't. They're going to say, you shouldn't have went on Fox News in the first place.
But it is a setup going on Fox News. Like, no, like, don't do it to yourself. Like, don't go on Fox News. Like, don't, why even, like, I don't entertain these conversations with people. Like, it's something that people decide to do, which was have this party and not invite people. And I don't feel like you need to go up there and be the ambassador of these things. Like, when you decide to do something, you don't have to sit around explaining yourself to everyone. Just do what you decide to do and move forward. If people would learn to do that, they wouldn't be putting themselves in these situations. Like, when I do something, I don't stand around defending my behavior. That is what I decided to do because I wanted to do it. And that's that. And I don't need to go on Fox News to explain to you.
No, with her though, I'm never gonna say anybody needs to really be fired, but like, what if the first time I watched that video, I was like, she comes across very aggressive. Like, it's funny to me or whatever, the way they came across each other. But like, looking back, like after I heard that she was fired, she was a professor somewhere, I'm like, you know what? I can kind of understand that, because initially I didn't know that. I thought she was just, a contributor of some sort. She came on there and she was just like, she's like, people should keep their badass kids at home when we're going to weddings. She was like, white people, y'all can just stay home on this day. Like, she was really going in, and it's kind of like,
she did go in. Like, that's why I said they have it right.
You can't be a professor talking like that. I remember actually, really quickly, back when I was a journalist in college, one of my professors actually said all these like negative things about like Jewish people and stuff like that, and it was like, yeah, and it was like really big news. I actually scored.
You're talking about Dr. Sadiq. I don't care about saying names.
See, I was trying not to say the name. But I
got my degree from him, so I don't care.
It's crazy though. Like, after that happened, whatever, I got an exclusive interview with him, and like,
girl, it was not exclusive. I got one too.
Who got it first?
I got it first.
So I got it on WWLU. I got it on the radio.
Anyway, we're not gonna go back and forth. No, the reason I said that is I just feel like the school, after seeing that, like, they have to look at the way she is and the way her views are, and they more than likely don't line up with the institution. And like, you're casting out another, so you're gonna cost them money, and it's not worth it. So I do agree that they should have let her go.
I was just about to say that. Does being an adjunct, I mean, adjunct meaning that she's not really a tenured faculty member or anything like that. She has no real relationship to the school.
It's not.
Does being an adjunct make her even more disposable?
Like, adjunct is something you do on the side. You're absolutely disposable. That's what they do. There's this big push to make adjuncts no longer disposable, but at this moment, that's the adjunct game. It doesn't even pay that much money. So it's not like she's losing a whole bunch of capital. So really, she was probably just trying to use that as a stepping stone to gain opportunities elsewhere.
She was on a semester by semester contract or whatever.
She wanted to use that as
by class, like it's by how many classes you teach or how many semesters. She's still getting paid for whatever she did, and they let her go, and they're going to pay her for the rest of whatever she was supposed to do. So they're paying out their agreement to her, and they're moving on. It's not even a big deal.
All right. Any more questions on this? Any more comments? Any more concerns?
Nope. Have a good one, lady. Enjoy your life.
Stay at home. Stay at home. That's what you
Stay
said.
ass on Fox News. How's that sound?
Time for Q&A.
Time for Q&A. The part of the that throws me off. People say my whole name. The part of the show where you ask us questions and we answer them, and I think we have good questions this week. But they're ones that require some serious advice. And so I want you guys to dig deep within your spirits. And no, I'm kidding. But they are, though. All right, so the first one we have is date, place, Tinder, thing, kids. I think that was the one from last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
That we agreed to do. So I think that we'll go ahead and do that one just because we did agree to do that last week, just in case that viewer wants to tune in. They're probably waiting for the answer to this question. They've waited a week, so let's not let them wait any further. Go ahead and pull that one up, and we'll get started with that one first.
What the hell are you?
Go ahead. Pull that one on up, staff.
Nearly 2 months ago, I met a guy on Tinder expecting nothing more than a casual hookup. However, we ended up, is that what Tinder is for? I'm not familiar with it. However, we ended up clicking really. It's like a hookup site.
Yeah, like you swipe if you like somebody, swipe left, swipe right if you don't. It's kind of
And if you do like them, like you guys hook up and then move on.
Yeah, you have the possibility. You have the option.
Oh, interesting. However, we ended up clicking really well and have gone on a lot of real dates since then. I think I'm falling in love with him and vice versa. And we are exclusive. There's just one little problem. I never told him I have a kid.
That's not little.
I'm a single mom, no dad in the picture, and my child is 3. I didn't think to mention it initially, not expecting to enter a relationship. And since then, I've just never found the right moment.
I bet.
I totally know this is wrong and my fault, but at this point, I'm not sure how to break the news. We can't keep on seeing each other. I'm sorry, I messed up. Each other only at his apartment or when my kid is at grandma's. And I really want my child to meet him. How do I get out of this mess? I think this is pretty simple, isn't it?
No, I don't know how you gonna get out of it. What you mean?
You say I'm sorry I never told you. I know we're in love and everything, but I do have a kid. Are you still feeling me?
Just go for the bullet. Just bite the bullet and go.
She's 3. She's 3. Do you want to meet her? I probably should have told you about it before, but tell him what you told us. And now I'm in a big mess, and I feel like there was never a time. Even though I don't buy that, I think you were hiding it. I don't know why you would hide your kid. Like even if I met someone on the first date, or like on the second date, I would let them know I had a kid. Like if not, I know it's like a hookup thing. So I don't know if you were like intending for it to go anywhere, but after you went on a second date, then that's when you're like talking about your lives. I'm sure. They said you went on
sometimes once you tell somebody that you got a kid, then they know that you're fertile, and they're less likely to if they don't want to be in a relationship.
Right, but that's the hookup stage. But then they went on a couple real dates. She said we've gone on a lot of real dates. So now on one of those real dates, did you mention that you have a kid? I don't understand why not.
So look, this is what I would recommend. Pull your phone out, go to your Apple Podcast section, type in At the Moment Podcast. So this week on the At the Moment Podcast, we talked about dating in the 21st century, in 2017. So it's
what is happening here?
Conversation of different perspectives and everything of dating and how Jason, and how to navigate around that. We also touch on Tinder. The reason I put that out there is because you can catch At the Moment every Monday at 12.
Jason.
Or if you're gonna
I'm gonna let him rock. I'm gonna let him rock.
Jason,
he got the gift cards. He's doing the gift cards.
Did we allow this?
He's doing the gift cards. You gotta let him. He's doing.
Are we allowing this? Like this is full blown promotion. Like you can promote that during. You can promote that during BS report. Like absolutely not. So not during my section. You will report. You can promote that during your time. Moving forward, William, do you have any advice for this person?
Wait, I was just gonna say that she should listen to this episode because
no, she should not. She's listening to us here right now, and she's getting her advice now. Like, there's no need to go any further than right
cut
here.
off our show and turn on at the moment. He said, "Cut us off."
Yeah, cut us off and download my show. Like, no,
not yet though.
If she wanted to write into at the moment, she would have done so, and she did not. She probably has never heard of it. There's a thing called at the moment.
I was saying it for relationship advice.
No. That's not how this works. No, sir. We fully support your endeavors outside of the show, but what you won't do is interrupt a segment to promote yourself. It's not happening. So, William, do you have any advice for this viewer?
I do. You should probably stop lying and go ahead and let this little boy know you got a child, and he gonna be with you whether you know or he ain't gonna be with you. As simple as that. You had the opportunity to say you had a child. You just hiding your baby. And go ahead.
Like I just don't understand why somebody would do that. Like there are so many people out here with children that are single parents, and there's nothing wrong with it. And it's like it's almost rare to find a person who doesn't have a child, and so it's not even that big of a deal if you ask me. Like I don't know why you would hide it, but I feel like now he's going to start becoming more afraid. Like initially it would have been fine, I'm sure, but now he's probably gonna be afraid. Like, well, if you're hiding something as big as a child, what else are you hiding? Like, you know, that's where I would take it. And like, then now, by concept, you've made your relationship less legit, and now like he might not even want to move forward, not because you have a kid, but because you hid it from him. So if you can hide something as big as a kid, what other things are you going to be willing to hide? And that's probably the biggest problem here. So it's best that you get this over with. And I hope you didn't wait from last week for our advice, but if you did.
Well, if you waited, then you got to wait till after the 4th because no breaking up during holidays. After the 4th, let the man know you have a kid. Also, he's going to leave you because how do you hide a child for 2 months? Now, I know y'all talked on the phone and stuff like that. You're not taking care of your kid. Not only do you have one, but you don't seem to be taking care of it.
You can't just say he gonna leave her. I mean, dang.
Oh, he's done because I'm suspecting.
Then she don't want to tell him.
I mean, but how can you hide a child for 2 months? Like, how are you hiding a 3-year-old? What do you do? Like, you didn't like it. That, you know, I mean, like you didn't
only go to his house.
You are intentionally.
Right, but like, where's your child at though?
At grandma, she just said that.
Your child out. Those are things you talk about on first. What's your favorite color? Green. What movies do you like?
Like for 2 months, you're posting on social media, and I'm sure he follows you after 2 months. You never.
She probably got 2 accounts. She probably got a family account and she got a friend's account.
Yeah, that's weird though. Like you don't put
doing all of that. There's a problem here.
So I feel like you intentionally hit her, and I think that's the biggest problem. Like to intentionally hide the kid because you don't put your kid on. Like people on social media don't know you have a kid.
No, you did intentionally hide your child because it comes up in conversation. Yeah, I dated this girl. I ain't had no kids. Oh, I ain't got no kids either. But you lying. Like you lied. I feel like you're a liar at this point. He had.
Yeah, I mean, this is really problematic. It's something like I think you should be more focused on the relationship.
Maybe he got a kid too. He was trying to avoid the conversation.
Like, wait a minute.
I don't know. The relationship with your child is the most important right here because I don't know why you're hiding this kid or what's wrong. That I don't think there's anything wrong with having a kid. Like, if he should have the option, if he wants to, like, you're not asking him to be a step parent or anything like that. Like, so I don't understand what's happening.
I want to know if you're watching the show, like, can you write in and tell us how the conversation went and how it is that you never mentioned your 3-year-old child? Like, you didn't mention, oh, I had to get a babysitter or, oh, I had to drop the baby off to grandma's house. Like, that never came out, which means you were intentionally not saying anything. Like, I don't even know how that works. Please write.
All right, well, let's move on. Our advice is basically you have to tell the truth, and you probably do it over the phone because you might snap. The next one, I will let you guys pick the next ones because I just wanted to get that out the way because I know we promised last week we would do it.
All right,
so the other ones,
boyfriend life taking the next step, boyfriend bed, terrible sex, or employer work and maternity leave.
Which one is funniest?
Probably all of them. I think Dex would appreciate that last one if he could possibly give advice there. I'm not sure.
Why? Because he's on maternity leave?
Yeah. He's like, Dex is the one who has work problems. Like, no one else has those issues.
He really is.
I think the boyfriend bad terrible sex one's pretty good too.
Yeah, that one is pretty good.
Let's do it that one.
All right.
If we could squeeze in one more, possibly, I don't know. It won't take us long. I have been dating my boyfriend for years. I have a big problem, though. I have never liked sex with him. He is a great father and boyfriend, but the sex has never been good. Oh. He's probably the best I have ever had, but if his penis fell off today, I would probably be doing a happy dance in my head. I have to be drunk to have sex with him.
Damn.
With him now, and he knows it, and it hurts him. I don't think I want to break up, but if I were to tell him my true feelings, I'm sure that's where we'd be heading. What should I do from here?
A doozy.
No, I have advice.
I wonder if that's her kid that he has. Like she said he's a wonderful father and boyfriend. I wonder if it's her kid as well.
Oh, I wonder.
Wonder if it's their kid. That makes a big difference.
It's actually weird. I think I don't see how you could really like love somebody and hate having sex with them. That seems like kind of strange to me. But there's a possibility that he's doing things sexually that you don't like, and you've never communicated those things with him. And so I think that it's important that you guys have a conversation about the type of sex that you like. Like there's like, you're doing stuff like, so you can say like, you know, I don't like this and I don't like that.
What you think she'll
but
like?
I don't know, he's probably like sticking his finger in her butt and all kinds of crazy stuff. That,
Dex, what kind of invasive stuff you think they be doing?
Well,
he's probably like burning candle wax and like dripping hot candle wax on her nipples and
you think it's a PG-13 show
and like do all types of crazy stuff. He's probably like trying to toe fuck her and like all kinds of like weird shit that she doesn't like.
Oh my God.
So like it's just important that you communicate.
When is my contract up? I gotta go. Somewhere to be. You said I'm associated with foolishness. You are dirty. No, but seriously, I really think that you should practice a vow of celibacy because if
no, she's in the middle of a relationship. What are you talking about?
She's gonna stop. She already wants to stop. I mean,
because think about it. You said there's already a child involved in this relationship. The only thing that's bad in this relationship is
but we
sex.
don't know if it's her child.
Regardless, there's a child there. The only thing that's bad in this relationship is sex. So, like, if everything else was going well, why don't you get rid of that cancer? Cut it out. Don't have sex anymore. Like, you guys can be intimate without doing stuff like that. And I think that's what you should do. And it gets rid of the issue that you have.
My godson just he just Snapchatted me. He's watching the show right now, and he said, "Give me her phone number and let me show her how a real input is."
All right. Listen.
So if I'm associated with foolishness, as you say, Ty, what is William associated with? People need to know.
William is your twin in foolishness. Trust me.
So Ty, if this person sends in their number.
Here's the thing.
If this person sends in their number, will you give it to Will? To give to the other guy? If this person sends in their number after watching this back and sends in their number, are you going to give it to Will so he can give it to his friend?
No, because I can't be the liaison to foolishness.
Well, wait a minute. Sis, before I even pass this number on to my godson, what kind of job do you have? Because he is currently a professional boxer, and we don't need no nonsense. So I need to know these things.
Listen. This lady is having real problems.
What you mean professional? If he more risk than she is, what?
He absolutely is.
Yeah.
So she got to get ready for. Look,
y'all holding up the show. Listen, lady, y'all need to have a conversation about this. And if he doesn't like it, the relationship is probably going to be over anyway. So it's no point of holding this in. Like you can't go your whole life not liking the sex you're getting, and that's period, because this is not going to work. So you can't go off and get drunk just to have sex with your boyfriend. Like that's a ridiculous thing to do. So you have to like have a conversation and possibly he can see what it is that's going on wrong, and you guys can kind of evaluate it. If y'all can't be adults about this whole thing, then you simply just should not be in a relationship together, and you should move on, and then do your celibacy, like Dex said.
Yes.
All right, we'll do the other two next week.
if
Thanks for sending your questions.
Thanks for sending your questions. You don't have to do Bro Talks last questions. You go right on the website, stick it in a little box. We'll hit you up later. Next.
Stick it in a little box. That's
that's what he's not doing.
He's probably sticking it everywhere but the box. That's probably the problem.
Time for Jizza time. And guys, guess what it is? Jizza thoughts.
Is it Jizza thoughts? I figured this is when we would give out.
I totally put that as your background on your phone.
You like that?
Yeah, I do. Make me one.
Make me one. And me too. Make us all one.
You guys don't. Now everybody loves Jizza thoughts.
How come I don't get a little backdrop with my face and a little question?
My word. We don't love Jizza thoughts. We love the concept. Is this for a phone background? Don't get twisted.
When my segment comes up, I want something like this with my face in it, with a little bubble of questions or something like. Well, how can you not this arrogant for the rest?
I negotiated that in my contract.
That's definitely in my contract moving forward. Like this whole Q&A with these two black dots in the background. Like, why shouldn't we have my picture?
Do you do any work for the segment besides just read the damn questions?
Absolutely do work. I put up with people's shit all week.
Wait, before we move on, two people also Snapchatted in the show and said Ty is speaking much truth, and they really agree with Ty on the last segment we had. So Ty, the people are agreeing with you.
Didn't need that.
Thank you, people, and I appreciate your support.
People who's agreeing with me? Where are they?
About them agreeing with Ty? Fuck Ty.
You wish you could fuck Ty.
You guys. When we yawn, do deaf people think that we're screaming? Like, how do they know?
There's no vibration, so they would know that we're not screaming.
You say what?
There's no vibration, like, or inflection. Like if I start screaming, you can feel like a vibration from my voice speaking. Like you can tell that a person's speaking. So like they don't. They just think that you're just opening your mouth. There's nothing coming out.
Dex, when you scream, do you scream real high?
I don't know. Jason, I've been next to you. Remember we were on that thing. You screamed like a girl. When we did the bungee jumping thing, he was screaming in my ear like a woman. And I was like,
Dex had to change
on the video. I thought that was your voice.
No,
that was Dex's voice.
I literally stopped in the middle of the ride and looked at him and I was like, man up. And then we kept going.
Dex got a Japanese tattoo on his neck that said, lick me.
Lord knows what he said.
Why can you drink a drink, but you can't food a food?
Jason, shut up and move on. This is dumb.
Jason, what the hell is going on here?
If you multiply two negatives, you'll get a positive. How come two wrongs don't make a right?
They do.
you think two wrongs?
They don't.
Absolutely. If you do something to me and I get revenge on you, I've made it right. Two wrongs.
And three rights make a left.
Like if you punch me and I punch you back, that's right. Now we're both right because we've literally evened out what happened. We both got punched. That's two negatives, and now we're all positive. We can move.
So you're not going to tell your kids two wrongs to make a right?
Absolutely not. That's not true.
I'll be there to tell your kids two wrongs to make a right.
No, dude, I'm gonna do something wrong to you, and I was taught that you need to be at peace at all times. And if someone wrongs you, it doesn't matter at what level. I can wrong them any level I choose, just like they did to me.
So there's no. So if they didn't want to be wrong, they should have never wronged you in the first place.
So yeah. So for example, and this is what I'm talking about. If you punch me, I'm not going to punch you back. I'm going to bang your head against the ground until I see your, like, because you shouldn't have hit me because I would never hit you. So why are you hitting me?
But that's
so
why
therefore,
that's why they hit you wrong. It's like when I hit you initially, I wasn't really wrong. When you did all that extra stuff, that was wrong twice. That's what they mean.
Like, right. I'm not just going to hit you back to even us out. Like I'm doing any level of damage to you that I see fit.
So if you were Safari, how would you write that wrong?
By running away and tweeting about it.
I'm going to jump into crowds of people. Like I'm not going to run. I'm going to jump into the crowd and see what happens.
All right. Well, Todd, if two mind readers read each other's mind, whose mind are they reading?
Each other's.
Each other's.
Duh.
But are you still reading each other's mind? Because they're reading your mind at the same time. So actually reading your mind.
Yes, they're communicating.
Yeah, it's telekinetic.
So you're reading your own mind.
No, you're reading the other person's mind.
Because the mind readers are reading your mind.
No, but Jason, see, I actually know about mind reading. So basically, while I'm reading your mind, I still have my own thoughts in my head or whatever. So
Dexter's actually knowing about mind reading is him. This is an example of how he knows everything, and this is why we don't take you seriously.
Well, I do know this stuff. Like I just know I work. I'm a unicorn. You said it already. I am. I just don't talk about it anymore because people.
So what happens when you read somebody's mind, Dex?
This is Dex and he's a witch. That's what this is.
So you got your own thoughts while you're reading somebody else's mind?
Yes, Jason, it's like when me and you we're currently communicating with each other right now. But like I'm not the only thing on your mind. You're thinking about other stuff as well. Like things are ticking. There's so many different thoughts going. So like you're not concentrating your whole mind on reading mine. But then when it when you
explanation from Dex. You have to say it like a stupid as hell.
This is how stupid he looks every time he explains something. So
I don't care what y'all say. Like, okay, well, whatever.
Why do we have firefighters and not water fighters? Because it rains far more than it fires.
What?
Yeah, what are you gonna do with water? Melt it? Like, I don't get it.
What are you talking about?
Like, what are you saying?
That's dumb.
Why
Jason, when did you come up with these? Like, were you like?
Why do you have firefighters and not water?
Were you
fighters?
under stress?
No, I'm just wondering why we have.
It doesn't even make sense.
Which mean it don't make sense?
What do you fighting water
fighters?
Floods?
How often do floods happen?
All the time.
But like serious floods.
How often does fires happen?
Every day.
We have people who fight floods. What are you talking about?
What are they called?
Coast Guard.
Coast Guard.
Next.
They're not called water fighters.
Floods.
They're called the Coast Guard. Their job is to guard the coast.
What if
they're called lifeguards then. Lifeguards are water fighters.
Floods happen in the middle of Kansas. They don't got no coast.
First of all, you shouldn't be living in the middle of Kansas on purpose. That's your business.
Listen, Jason, that's a ridiculous thing. I got a water fighter.
It wasn't very good today.
It was good. You like the Dex? Thank you. I appreciate it. For more Jizza thoughts, be sure to follow me on Twitter.
That's the problem.
Spend some time making us these backgrounds, and we'll forgive you for that segment.
Time for Dex's BS report.
All right, I'll be very quick today, guys. I know they took a lot of time. So there is a family who is hiring a nanny, $64,000 a year, 28 vacation days, and you can actually live in their home with them. I mean, they give you your own separate quarters to live in home with them because both the parents, they're required to travel a lot, and they're going to need you to be there. And you get like I said, the $63,000, 28 vacation days, and then they give you
63 to 64,000.
Huh?
63,000 to 64,000. That makes.
Wow, you trying to get hired?
63.
Listen.
What's a 1,000? Well, you will not notice the difference between a $1,000. Like you won't notice that difference.
I will.
But what they're saying is, you can do this, but there's a catch. The house that they have lived in, it's their family home for over 10 years. It's actually inherited by ghosts. So would you guys apply for that? Like, would you go and like live there?
Absolutely.
Let me tell you something. I'm not them people on that TV.
The ghost is not the problem. The salary is the problem.
That long. I will get in the house. It will turn into a YouTube clip. How to get rid of a ghost. Point blank in the period. I'm not sitting around letting you ruin my house and rip and run up and down my steps. Absolutely not. There's the front door, the back door, or the window since you're a ghost. You can choose one.
Yeah, the salary will be an issue for me. I feel like if I'm living with you and doing all this extra stuff, I want a bigger salary than that. That is the only problem that I have. The ghost is not an issue for me.
At all.
Okay. And then, Jason, how about you? Would that be a deal breaker for you if you tried to apply for this house, this nanny position, and then the family told you they had a ghost?
I probably wouldn't care. Just make sure my check comes every 2 weeks on time. And
let me say check clear.
I will pray those ghosts right on going out.
If you're there and you survive the ghost, why the hell would I?
Write that check
Exactly.
out.
I'm not scared of no ghost I don't know. Like, girl, bye.
The ghost knocking shit over. I'm like, excuse me, knock it over in the kids' room. No, come over here.
I'd be like, don't even tell me nothing about the ghost. Like, I don't even want to know no backstory or nothing. Just like, leave me alone.
Because I got the Holy Ghost.
I couldn't do it.
Okay.
As soon as they tell me about that ghost, I'm out. Like we're good here.
I will have every light in that house on 24/7. Though
I won't turn it right off. I don't waste electricity. I'm not having no accommodations for no ghosts
at all. I don't have time.
You can be like, die.
I'm like,
Die.
I'm going to sleep now. You have a good night, all right?
I would like to play a game.
Okay.
Let me finish. All right, so
Jesus, don't try me, honey.
There's a man in Queens who is actually suing the city because he spent 5 months in jail for assault on a police officer. But what he didn't realize, though, is that he was, under the impression that his bail was $25,000. Actually, his bail was only $1, and he spent 5 months in jail. And he is now suing the city because he said that they should have told him that his bail was cheaper. He said, I actually had $1 in my pocket when I was arrested, and that is.
They wasn't gonna get that back to him. It don't matter if he had $1 or not. They wasn't gonna let him use that dollar. He was gonna have to get $1 from somebody else.
Right.
That dollar belongs to us now.
Exactly. That's what they tell you. All right, guys. Do you have any seats for this week, Bill?
Absolutely. And you would think that on my vacation I would not have a seat, but I need to see the Philadelphia municipal court system because they waited good until my vacation to slap me with some jury duty. Let me explain something to y'all. I am just fine doing my civic duties during the year when
during regular business hours. Do not try me. Regularly scheduled business hours. Do not try me.
Okay. That is September through June. Do not hit me the latter part of June, July, or August because I am unavailable. And the city waited good to try me. You wait for the little stunt. I'm a fool.
You think they did it on purpose?
Yes.
I know they did.
They watched Bro Talk last week. They heard him say, "Oh, I can't wait to get out of school." And then they said, "Hit it."
They hit you with that little stupid $9 check that I actually forgot to cash, and I can't find it now. That is like the most, like, when I did mine, it was during the school year. It was fine. I'm like, perfect. I wish they would hit me one of those during the summer. Wait, come arrest me because I ain't coming.
The only way I'm planning on going down there is if they're going to stick me one of them things, I can write me a book after the trial is over.
And it ain't, because Philadelphia don't got no good stories.
A
bunch of foolishness and foolery.
We have Bill Cosby.
Please, that's in Montgomery County. I don't live in Montgomery County.
That's not over here. That's not over here, bro.
Well, I wouldn't know. I don't live in Philadelphia. My seat really quickly. So today I'm in a rush. Like Tuesdays are a very busy day for me. So like,
me too, Dex.
So I tried to run to Chipotle like really quickly to grab something to eat before I have to be on set. So I parked my car. You know how? So my Chipotle is in the same area as like a supermarket. So there is like the fire lane that's in front of the grocery store, all that stuff. Right
outside of Philly as well.
Yeah, I don't live in Philadelphia. So then I go and I park my car in the lane really quickly, put my flashers on and get out of the car. There is this woman who was sitting outside. She says to me, "You can't leave your car there."
You can't. What are you talking about? Why would you do that?
And I just look like don't talk to me. So I go mind my business or whatever, and I go into Chipotle. I order my food.
He's a white woman.
So you tried to park your car in the fire lane?
Yeah, I'm running in and out of the store.
In the white lady called you out on it, and you tried to act like you didn't know what she was talking about.
That was her spot.
First of all, she was some regular woman sitting down eating her lunch or dinner or whatever. Spot. Like, don't talk to me. So then I grab my food. When I get out, she's standing in front of my car trying to give me a lecture about parking there. And it's like, I don't like to be disrespectful, but she made me be disrespectful.
Did you move?
She moved when I got in my car. I was not talking to you. Get away from me. Mind your business.
So you left your car there?
No, I got in my car as she was standing there, and I drove away.
No, you got your Chipotle first?
Yeah, I went in there. I ordered my food, and I went out. And
was it one of the long lines, or was it a short line?
No, I mean, it was a short line, but even if it was a long line, whatever. Like, I'm not finna. It's a grocery store. Grocery stores are always crowded. I'm not gonna park all the way at the end of the grocery store just to go to Chipotle.
You probably gonna get a ticket in the mail. She probably reported your car and took a picture and everything. You probably gonna get a ticket.
In this area, I wouldn't be surprised.
My seat is going to go to all the people who were disparaging the good name of Bruno Mars. There was this lady who has had my Twitter blowing up because all these people retweeting and stuff. But she was talking about Bruno Mars being a person who, what's it called? When people take our appropriator. Yeah. She said Bruno Mars was appropriating Black culture because of his new style of music, or the music that he's making now. She had this long thread about, you know, how we need to look past the fact that we may like somebody and stuff like that. Appropriation is appropriation, blah, 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 blah. Lady, there's a difference. Just because we're Black doesn't mean that we have copywritten the genre. Just because we're Black doesn't mean that the genre doesn't affect people. If it's good, hopefully it will affect people, because that's the whole point of us making music, is to affect people. And it's affected Bruno Mars in a way where he feels like he would like to honor the people who have made it before him, and he's honoring them by paying homage in his music with the same styles and everything else. Not only that, Bruno Mars has also done interview after interview after interview about how these people affected him growing up, and he's given names of people and bands and groups and stuff like that ordinarily people wouldn't necessarily know if they're not in our culture. So I feel like Bruno Mars has done and gone above and beyond all that he's had to do in order to prove that he's down, like, especially for our music culture. And even if he didn't, appropriation is different. Like, he's not taking the music and saying that, oh, this is a brand new genre I invented. That's appropriation.
That's the key part. See, this is what made me mad about this stupid lady and saying these stupid things. Appropriation is when I tell you you look stupid with braids, and then 2 weeks later I come out with braids, and all of a sudden it is the new
and now
trend.
they're goddess braids.
And now I renamed them and and now they're the new hottest trend because I made it up. And now people are giving me credit for something that I clearly stole from people that I didn't give credit to. That is appropriation. Bruno Mars singing, like, I'm like, what a stupid fucking imbecile.
Is guilty of appropriating is 90s R&B music. Like, I don't want you to think that he's appropriating a culture. Like, go get appropriate.
Even if he didn't give due, he's Black enough. We all know who our fight is with. And it's certainly not Bruno Mars and his people. So have a freaking good one.
Once again, thanks for wrapping up my seat tie for the 5th straight week. It seems like he just
actually, I wrote that down as my own seat, so you took it, so I jumped on top of it. I clearly shared that article earlier.
I actually thought that would have been one of our topics today. I guess you want to hold it as a seat, a little selfish though.
Yeah, I actually
I cut a topic actually because we didn't have time.
I actually had a debate on that. We were talking about that quite often. I was going to use that as a seat, but I still had another one. But we're running out of time, so I'll save that.
No, go ahead, give it.
I don't like to talk to people when I'm in public, kind of doing what I do. Like, there are like people who are friendly and strike up conversations. I'm not one of those people.
Normal people.
I'm not one of those people.
I don't. Like, I want to come and do what I was doing. If I'm with company, I will speak to that person. For you, it's a hi, a thank you. I walk into the store, you held the door, I say thank you. Excuse me if I'm bumping you, and those types of things. I don't want to have a full conversation with you because I don't know you and I don't care about what you're talking about. So that brings me to my seat. I am in line at Target, as some people call it. I call it Target because I don't care. And these ladies are like gossiping heavy about this other person. Yeah, and she had this dirty tongue ring. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? And like, she's ringing up my stuff and she is full blown ratchet. And she is the person working at the store. I swear to God, I thought about getting her fired. Like, this is how ridiculous.
So she's the cashier.
Then she had the nerve. She's a cashier. She's a cashier. There's a girl behind her who's not on the clock right now. And those two are having a full blown conversation while she's ringing up my shit. And it took her longer. And I had to make sure she didn't make mistakes. Then here's another seat within the seat. She didn't know how to ring up the fruit that I had gotten. So she was like, oh, well, just call it a banana. That's what I ring everything up as. Bitch, that might be less than a banana. So no, you will not call it a banana. You will fucking look for it and you will ring it up for what it is. For all I know, this costs less than a banana. So no, you will not ring it up as a banana. That is not your deep. Like, how ghetto is that? So after this ghetto conversation they were having, they had the nerve to include us. They're like, have you ever seen a lip ring that was gray? And I'm like, bitch, what are you talking about? Like, I want to leave. I'm trying to go. I have no interest in talking to you or having a conversation with you or gossiping about whoever the heck you're talking about. Probably somebody that you're going to be like, hey, girl, when she walks in the door. Do not involve me. Do not speak to me. I don't know you. I don't want to hear about this. And I'm thinking about getting her fired because we live in a really nice neighborhood, and I've never seen.
We don't live in Philadelphia.
Yeah, we don't. I do live in Philadelphia. I live in Andorra though, and we don't have that kind of stuff around here. You have to go.
Did you get her name? Is her name on your receipt?
I did write her name down. I'm considering seeing the manager about this. I will give her a second chance to see if I go in there.
Personally, she was just upset about this.
She did do it personally to me. It was personal. Wow. She held up my time. She spoke to me.
Well, you're going to hold up more of your time by calling Walmart and get her fired.
Wait, can I Walmart, it's Target.
Oh.
Can I give one more quick seat? I totally forgot about this, but I just was reminded through Ty's story.
Oh, then by all
this
means.
past weekend, I took my parents to an R. Kelly concert. So
what?
This is kind of to me, but like it was just like a cool thing because there's just history with my family and like R. Kelly, like his music and all this stuff, whatever. So we're at the concert, and I don't know. I just figured, R. Kelly's 50 years old. Like there's certain things he just won't do. There were things that I saw at this concert that like probably scarred me for life. I mean, like he is gyrating across the stage. He is like pounding air or whatever. It's a mess. And R. Kelly, for you to be 50 years old still doing stuff like that, it's a problem.
If you think you're sexy enough to pull that off, I'm sorry, sir. Please don't do that again.
Is this Trey Songz' future? Like when you're 50 years old, are you really gonna be on the stage telling women to wipe your lips?
Stop. First of all, you should be seated for that comment because right after you left that concert, you said R. Kelly still has it. That's number one. Number two, that will never be Trey Songz' future because he has to learn how to sing first. So that ain't ever gonna happen. So don't even think about that.
I saw Trey Songz doing the most vulgar humping that I have ever seen in my life on some clip. I don't understand these people. I can't. I'm glad.
Dex, did R. Kelly take a bathroom break or did he just go?
No, he stayed out there the whole set. Like when I say to clarify, Will, I do still think he has as a performer. Like he was actually pretty good. I mean, there were some stunts that were pulled, but like he's pretty good as a performer. So he does still have it. However, when I say this man still has it, if he ever performed on a larger platform like the BT Awards, I wouldn't expect him to pump up and down and gyrate. Like that is not expected.
Oh wait, you know what? I do have one more seat. I'm sorry, I need to see John McEnroe.
Let's just ignore that.
He tried it.
What?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I do need to see John McEnroe, who was a semi good tennis player back in the day, because he tried Serena Williams, saying he made this little comment like, oh, she's good, but if she played on a men's circuit, she'd probably be number 700. Number one, sir, she clearly has more championships than you've ever played to get. Okay, you retired 3 times. She's never retired once. I don't ever want you to try Serena Williams again, because the last championship she won, she was like 6 weeks pregnant. What have you done lately? Okay.
I agree. All right. Don't forget,
she didn't win them by beating no men though.
Like, subscribe, tell a friend, comment. Dex, you ugly. Check out our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter and Instagram pages, all run by Dexter. Thanks everybody for staying with us during the BET Awards. It was a great time in the Lord to be on Twitter.
In the Lord.
And me and Dex had a great time running the account that night.
Like, why was everybody like shouting? Oh, that's not.
Yeah, me and Dex had a great time running the account. So make sure you subscribe or follow or whatever you have to do to keep up with the show. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns, announcements? Oh, this is the last show until the week after next. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for sticking with us for an extended half an hour. Like we don't normally do that, so we do apologize.
I don't.
I would like to say happy birthday to 2 of the people who watch our show, SK and Jawan. Happy birthday! Thank you all for watching the show. Jennifer, Kim, Rickley. Thank you all for your feedback, my guys. I'm Brandon. We really appreciate all of your support and all that sort of stuff.
Can we sing happy birthday, guys?
Don't you get are you allowed to do that?
Oh, wait, time out, because I got another. Wait, let me finish my church announcements. on June the 30th, if you all are not, doing anything, you can catch me. I'll be in Atlantic City at the Tropicana for Brandon's. Brandon is having another fight at the Tropicana Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. That's June the 30th. And I'll also be a little later in July. I'll be giving you all some more information about something else I'm doing in August. So,
are you hosting parties now? Are you like Instagram model? What's going on?
I'm hosting anything inside of me a check.
I'll only be doing one thing in August, and I'm preparing for that now.
And that's your fiance. Dex?
That Jason was so vulgar.
So nasty.
What did he say?
Nothing. Just move on from life. We're done.
Dex, any announcements?
Just shout out to people who make me get them tickets to something and then travel all the way to Philadelphia and don't introduce me to their relatives. That's it.
All right, cool.
Okay.
All hearts and minds are clear. You guys have a wonderful week. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your 4th of July, and we will see you July 11th, I believe it is. Have a wonderful week.